Hey guys, we're here to do a post-mortem of another Blitz game that I just played in the 5-minute pool, and it's against Blockade and Destroy, 2360. Now, I had a technological hiccup here, so I apologize about that, so I wasn't able to capture the game the way that I wanted to, so now we're here to just dissect the game, and here I wanted to get into an old Indian. If he played knight c3, e5, takes, and then takes and takes, like in Gurmek versus Petrosian. But he played this, which is signaling for the Ukrainian variation, which can also be done after this, and then knight f3. So it's a different move order, but he's also suppressing e5. So now I played knight bd7 in order to enforce this. Now we get the same type of position, but now it's more akin to a Philidor after the c6, queen c2 stuff. And now rook to e8, rook d1, queen c7, bishop e3, all normal stuff. He's definitely better here. He has more space, and all of the pieces are on, so that favors the side with the extra space. But now, after we get these exchanges, and a5, and now knight c5 to target e4, he defends with the bishop, which is the best move, but the engine also likes f3, but this gives me a lot of counterplay after d5, because this bishop on e3 is loose. So this is why the engine suggests this and this, followed by knight db5, and if queen g3, bishop f1. Now if bishop f2, this queen g6 is a pin here. So this is also interesting. White still has a small advantage, but it's playable. Let's say here, takes, and now takes here with a mate threat. There's no time for the Forkaruski. Let's say bishop to f1. Now we can defend ourselves, defend the knight, get ready for any discoveries if need be, and we're good money. But now after bishop to f3, knight fd7, g3, knight e5, bishop to g2, a4. And here, he needs to play rook ab1, or rook ac1. Instead, he played b4, lunging forward, and now after knight e6, which is a mistake, you see, I should have taken on c4. Because after this, take here, hit the queen, hit the rook, hit the bishop. If he takes here, that gives me a winning position after these exchanges. Once he captures, then I can just go after this pawn. We both have 4 pieces. However, I have an extra pawn after I capture the pawn on c7, and I have the bishop pair, with everything aiming at the queen side. Once a2 dies, I'll be able to promote my a-pawn. Plus, I have a passed c-pawn, although for now, that's being used to keep the knights out and maybe keep the bishop out in the event of an eventual e5. But after knight e6, he played queen to e2. Now takes, and this was wrong. He needed to take with the rook. Now after a3, stopping this knight from targeting this, and because we want to stop him from playing a3, which would fix the pawn, which would then need the support of the rook permanently, which would chain my rook down to defending a black pawn on a4. We have a3, rook c1, queen b6, f4, knight back, king h2, h6, rook b1, queen back, rook dd1, and now knight b6. And the game goes on, but white is better. He has a space advantage. He has better squares for his pieces. It's still going to take a lot of work to try to win this, but he's definitely better here. After queen d3, g6, maybe I could try to get the bishop on g7 to target the knight. Maybe some bishop to b2 stuff in the future, if I can use the bishop to block the rooks again, using the pawn as support and trying to target a2. But that's a long way off, if it'll ever happen at all. And it shouldn't, because white is definitely better. But after bishop takes, bishop e6, targeting c4, we have c5, takes, knight d7, dropping back to put pressure on c5, queen e3, and now queen a5. And he plays rook ac1, which is wrong. He should have played knight e2, and after these exchanges, now if he takes here, then I want to take with the knight, which is what the engine suggests is the best for him. But now I'm just up a pawn. The queen goes here to defend. Also keep an eye on the dark squares. And after this, we can set up some exchanges, and I'm better. I have a knight, which is way more flexible than this bishop. I can put a pawn on g6, then put my king on g7 once the trades happen on the d-file. Plus, my queen can always, queen can always get in here or here with a check. Once the rooks disappear, I can target a2. I can also push my c-pawn. Only black can be playing this for the win. So I have a 2-result position. Instead, after rook ac1, we have takes, which was not the best. The engine like knight takes, which I don't fully understand why knight takes. I played bishop takes because I wanted to set up exchanges. But apparently it's wrong. If you guys can figure out why knight takes in the comments, let me know. So bishop takes, knight e2, bishop takes, knight takes on a2, and it's saying that I've lost advantage here. But at the same time, after the very natural knight f5, like, yes, I have queen takes knight, which in the video that I was going to post was corrupted. I thought queen takes knight was winning. But what I was looking at was queen takes, pawn takes, rook takes, pawn takes, and then I missed knight e5. What I was looking at was if here, or if here, or if here. I looked at everything but knight e5. So now let's have a look at knight e5 and try to understand why this is the best move. The engine wants king f2, and then I can play f6 supporting the knight. This knight is keeping the rook out of d7. This bishop is being kept out of this diagonal by the pawn, supported by this pawn. So now I can put this bishop on b3. I can try to advance a3, a2, bring the knight in if necessary. I get why this works, but at the same time, it's still a lot of work, yeah? Instead, after knight f5, I played bishop e6. So I aim to eliminate this knight with the x-ray on the queen coming through. So after queen g5, I took the knight. And after this, knight f6, just blockade the square. Keep d7 defended, keep this bishop shut out with this little pawn barrier. Get ready to run down the board with the a-pawn. So after h4, h6, get a square for my king on a white square behind this doubled f-pawn. So this bishop is never going to check me. So now after queen f4, a3, g4, knight d5. If he were to take, it's not helping him. Like, what is he going to do here? Like, this is coming. And, you know, a2 is coming as well. Like, even this I looked at. But then I was somewhat worried about this. But you don't really have to be. Like, what is he going to do here? Like, if I play, say, queen d7, and he takes, I have queen e7. Let's say he plays queen g4, I have queen f6. There's no real threat to this square. And this pawn is too far advanced. But after queen g3, I got to hit him with queen c7. Now this queen is hit. The knight defends my queen. So he blundered a pawn, and then he wound up resigning. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this post-mortem. I wanted it to actually be a full video, but I had some technical difficulties now. That's in the past. So hopefully next video I'll have the full game for you guys, but hopefully you enjoyed this nice post-mortem. Let me know what I can do to improve the channel in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.